I'd like to welcome the members of the Committee of Homeland Security to the 118th Congress, both our new members and those returning. I am honored to lead this Committee on Homeland Security. After a career dedicated to serving our country, I'm fortunate to be joined too by a group of talented members who bring unique perspectives and experiences from across our great country to advance our mission. And I thank the Ranking Member Thompson and all our members for the collaboration in finalizing our committee's rules so that we can get on to the business of holding the administration accountable and protecting the security of our homeland. Stood up in response to the tragic terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001, the Department of Homeland Security is tasked with a critical role of protecting Americans from dynamic and persistent threats. This committee must ensure that DHS is fulfilling that mission in the defense of our homeland, a role that leaves no room for error. This committee has traditionally been one of great bipartisanship. Securing the homeland is an American imperative, and I hope for productive partnership where possible with my Democrat colleagues. Where there is disagreement, Homeland Republicans will be respectful, but will be forceful in offering our vision and our solutions. The stakes are too high for any other approach. We must recognize the pressing crises created by the situation and the threats to our homeland in unprecedented ways at our southern border. No longer will the committee tolerate the total dereliction of duty that has happened at our southern border. For over 2 years, at our southern border, there's been no semblance of law and order. Ensuring the sovereignty and integrity of our traditional borders is not a radical concept. We are a nation of laws, and the willful erosion of those laws is counterproductive to the fabric of our society. Border security is national security. We must know who and what is coming across our borders and through our ports of entry to keep Americans safe. The lack of support from the department and the Biden administration for the brave agents of the U.S. Border Patrol has been infuriating to witness. These men and women work tirelessly as they're forced to contend with the traumatic human toll of the border crisis on a daily basis, all while being vilified by appointees in the Biden administration and the media. There have been over 4.5 million migrant encounters since the Biden administration took office. Just this last December, CBP encountered the highest monthly total of migrants in the agency's history. Fentanyl and other deadly drugs continue to pour through our open southwest border, killing hundreds of thousands of Americans and destroying lives all over our country. Perhaps most alarming is the growing number of known and suspected terrorists attempting to enter the country between ports of entry, 98 in fiscal year 22 and 38 already in the first 3 months of this fiscal year. We will legislate as part of our commitment to America to empower rather than degrade and abandon our brave CBP personnel and frontline law enforcement. We will address the unimpeded flow of migrants and drugs to protect our homeland and our people. And make no mistake, we will absolutely hold the Biden administration and Secretary Mayorkas accountable for their negligence. We must also work further to secure our cyber border. Over the past few years, malicious foreign adversaries have made significant threats to our critical infrastructure. Cyber attacks continue to increase their sophistication and persistence, and if we don't have a sufficient defensive scheme in place, the outcome could be catastrophic. And I know this is a concern that is shared by both sides of the aisle, and I look forward to building on the committee's record of significant bipartisanship as we legislate success in the cyber area. Cybersecurity remains a top priority for our new House majority, especially on this committee, and I want to thank Speaker McCarthy for his leadership in taking bold action to strengthen this committee's cybersecurity jurisdiction in this year's House Rules package. Our charge has never been clearer. We will work to responsibly mature CISA, provide oversight of other component cybersecurity functions, and strengthen the security of our federal networks and critical infrastructure. This can be done without overly burdening the private sector, which is why I remain concerned with the Biden administration's regulatory approach. We will focus on building trust, partnership, transparency, rather than duplicative and ineffective regulatory schemes. Further, our oversight and legislative agenda will take a fresh look at DHS as a whole, with the goal of reforming it into an agency that is competent in and worthy of protecting Americans. As I said earlier, I hope for bipartisanship and look forward to working together, but we will hold this administration accountable for its shortcomings, especially at the department. Finally, considering recent events, I want to make it clear to all members of this committee how seriously I take classified material. As a former special operator, I know that anytime classified material is leaked or not stored properly, it creates a potential risk to the lives of men and women who serve our great nation. I will not tolerate any member jeopardizing classified information. We're here to do a serious job and will be presented with sensitive information, so it must be handled as such. While we may disagree on policy or approach for securing our homeland, that doesn't mean we need to be disagreeable. And I ask all members, both sides of the aisle, to remember why we're here today and every day, and to remain focused on facts and policy rather than on personal attacks. This committee's assignment will involve the most important work each of us will engage in throughout our time in Congress, and I am grateful for being entrusted with this task. I'm excited to get to work.